All right, Coach, after reviewing the film, any new thoughts on Saturday's big win?
Really some good things, some great effort for the most part in all three phases of the game. We obviously need to play better on offense. But as you look at our team in a whole, the best thing is you want to improve from week 1 to week 2, and we improved. That's a good team that we played. Credit to them. They played extremely hard. It was a huge game for them, their first game ever in the conference. They put everything they had into it, and we took their shots, and we're still standing at the end. So to be 2-0 is exactly where you want to be, and we haven't had any major injuries for the most part. So we like where we're at right now.
You ever gotten a touchdown a few hours after a game ended before?
I have not.
Does it look better? Are you happy at least if it's a great play and the kids get the reward at least for the score, right?
Yeah, it is. It's good for the special teams, to have that effort in that, and then Torrin to scoop it and score like he did. It's good for those guys. But at the end of the day, we still won, and that's all that matters regardless of the score. We've got to continue to finish games the way that we are, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams. We've got to finish people out and improve where we missed off last year.
It seemed like you really enjoyed the way you won, though, with the defense, special teams leading the way and closing the game.
Yeah, it's pretty odd to hear this probably, but I would rather have us win at this stage of our program on defense, or on special teams than offense. And with so many games last year on defense, where we gave them away at the end, and that has been such an emphasis all off season that that's why I was so pleased the way that it finished.
The quirks of John Baxter and your special teams, obviously, the fans get all riled up by the 2-point conversions, but not many teams have a star left tackle on blocked field goal, and you've really built that culture of special teams here in the last 2 years, and again, it pays off.
Yeah, credit to our players for buying into it. That starts with John Baxter, best special teams coach in the country, but it takes the players to buy in, and they have. And all those things that some people like and some people don't, as you mentioned, are all for a reason. And, you go back to the Arizona State game last year, we went for too early in that game on a special teams play, and it ends up winning the game for us at the end. And so sometimes we want to point out when it doesn't work as opposed to when it does. So there's a method to our madness.
You're playing a lot of freshmen and a lot of redshirt freshmen. They made some great plays: Deion Bailey, Hayes Pullard, Xavier Grimble, and then you have the fumble by Grimble, fumble by Morgan. Is it just going to be a season-long riding the ups and downs? Is that what comes with playing youth?
That's what comes early. The hope is that they're getting it out now, and so the hope is as you get going in the season, they're not making those same mistakes. So many critical mistakes by freshmen. So many big plays, too, but critical mistakes, as you mentioned, Xavier's fumble and DJ's fumble. Those are momentum, game-changing plays. We had both those scenarios. We had all the momentum going our way, getting ready to kind of expand the score and turn it into a potential blowout type situation. But we give him the ball back there, and Marquise Lee makes a great catch, I think over a 30-yard completion on a slant, but he had covered up the tight end in his alignment. So all those plays right there that are the difference, why we're having to hang on at the end of the game. Hopefully as we go down the road, those won't be an issue.
A couple true freshmen. Andre Walker played on field goal team. So is he somebody that you might want to get into the mix a little bit with the offensive line as the season goes forward? Yeah,
we'd like to. We need a consistent week of practice out of Andre, because it's easy. It's easier to play guys at other spots as freshmen, because if they make a mistake, like the ones we talked about, they're bad, but they're not the end of the world. You make a mistake as a guard, remember you're 3 feet away from Matt Barkley. So when you make a mistake in there, it can really damage us. So it's why we really need those guys to play consistent in practice.
Lamar Dawson, I believe, got 2 series. What was your impression of him?
Yeah, he did well. To go in there and we're going to expand on that this week and keep moving him along and hopefully keep playing him more.
When you have a great corner like Nickel Roby, sometimes it seemed like Minnesota just didn't go in his direction. Did you guys make a concerted effort to move him around, maybe get him going forward and sort of the new chess piece of the defense to have fun with?
Yeah, we move him around a little bit, but they still know where he's at, and so it was obvious in both games, and especially the last one. They were not throwing at him very much at all. They were throwing to the other side. So it's something that we look at and we change our coverages up a lot.
Not the prettiest punts a couple times by Negretti. Is that a competition, or are you still comfortable with him?
No, we're going to redshirt Chris, and so Chris will be able to be our punter for years to come. And you have to look at the whole thing. We also haven't given up 1 punt return yard the entire year. So even though you look at the punts and why we're doing what we're doing, well, we're angling them so they don't get returns. So sometimes the punt may only go 34, 35 yards, but because there's no return, that's a lot better than when you kick it 50 and they return it back 20.
Such an emotional game as we start looking forward. Do you have to guard against a letdown this week?
I don't think so. I don't think that we haven't done enough to get to that point where you have letdowns. We're barely hanging on. So we're going to continue to create competition and keep spots open so that won't happen.
Mark Tyler comes back with the big game. Is he the starting running back going forward? Do you want to see something more out of him?
We don't know yet. We haven't even practiced yet this week, so we'll go to work and see what happens.
Statistically, you have to be happy with the offense, except the points haven't really gone on the board. Do you feel like this is an opportunity this week to finally put up a number that you're more comfortable with as the play caller?
Yeah, but that's our goal every week. That was our goal last week. Just too many times we're just not finishing drives or we're turning the ball over, in the red zone. So, there's great points in both those games that you can look at and say, wow, we got a chance to be really good. And then there's times that we're not very good. So we have to be more consistent this week.
Syracuse head coach Doug Maroney worked under Sean Payton. Can we expect a creative offensive play caller in that mold?
Yeah, great offensive play caller. They do a really good job. Hackett's kids is coordinator and title, and so they work together and they cause you a lot of problems.
And the senior quarterback in Ryan Nassib, 6 touchdowns to just 1 pick this year. What do you see from him?
Yep, and 75% completion. So he's playing really well, extremely accurate. He's doing what all good quarterbacks need to do.
Defensively, it sounds like they have creative blitz schemes. What do you see from the Orange?
Yeah, they play really fast. This is a defense that last year, was at the top of the country in some of the stats. I think maybe 7th overall in defense. So they know what they're doing. They got some new guys in there, but they have some really good players.
I know you want to win. Is it first and foremost? Is it important though to try and win pretty this week after 2 maybe ugly wins?
No, it's important to win, and it's important to improve as a team.
All right. Good luck this week.
Thank you.